Wu Wei, the art of not forcing. In a world saturated with noise, ambition, and ceaseless striving, there exists a concept so profound, so elegantly simple, that it has been whispered through the annals of ancient wisdom like a secret key to the universe itself. It is the Taoist principle of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. Yet, to encapsulate Wu Wei in mere words is to attempt to capture the ocean in a teacup. It transcends definition, existing as a state of being, a harmony with the cosmos that defies the frenetic grip of control. Picture a river winding through a lush valley, its waters gliding over rocks with an ease that seems almost sentient. It flows not because it must, but because it simply is. This is the essence of Wu Wei, a dance with the universe where effort dissolves and actions arise spontaneously, perfectly attuned to the rhythm of existence. But how does one embody this art? How does one step into the stream of life without disrupting its flow? The paradox of non-action. At first glance, the notion of achieving through non-action appears paradoxical, even contradictory. After all, isn't progress born of toil, of sweat, of the relentless pursuit of goals? Yet Wu Wei does not advocate for passivity or laziness. It is not an abdication of effort, but rather a redirection, a surrender to the natural course of events, a relinquishment of the ego's insatiable need to dominate and control. Imagine the archer who pulls back the bowstring. If he strains too hard, the arrow wavers, his aim falters. But if he trusts the bow, the tension, the alignment of his body, the arrow finds its target with uncanny precision. This is the alchemy of Wu Wei, the fusion of intention and surrender, where one becomes an instrument of the universe's will. The roots of Wu Wei. The origins of Wu Wei are deeply entwined with the Tao Te Ching, the seminal text of Taoism attributed to Laozi. The Tao, or the Wei, is the ineffable force that underpins and animates all of existence. It is both the path and the destination, a flow that encompasses all things, yet remains elusive and ungraspable. Laozi speaks of Wu Wei as a way of aligning with the Tao, of becoming so attuned to the natural order that one's actions arise effortlessly, like leaves carried by the wind. The Tao does nothing, he writes, yet leaves nothing undone. Here lies the crux of the teaching. To act in harmony with the Tao is to achieve without striving, to accomplish without forcing. The modern struggle. In the labyrinthine world of today, where success is measured by productivity and the clock is a merciless taskmaster, the wisdom of Wu Wei may seem antiquated, even impractical. Yet it is precisely in this age of hyperactivity that its relevance becomes most acute. The more we chase, the more elusive our quarry becomes. The harder we push, the more resistance we encounter. Consider the artist who agonizes over every brushstroke, her mind shackled by the fear of imperfection. The canvas becomes a battleground, her creativity suffocated by the weight of expectation. Contrast this with the child who paints with reckless abandon, unburdened by judgment or the need for approval. The child embodies Wu Wei, creating not for a purpose, but as an expression of the flow that courses through her. Cultivating Wu Wei. To embrace Wu Wei is to unlearn much of what modern society has taught us. It requires a dismantling of the false idols of control, ambition, and overthinking. Yet the path is not one of deprivation, but of liberation, a shedding of unnecessary burdens to reveal the inherent wisdom that lies beneath. Surrender to the present. The cornerstone of Wu Wei is presence. When you relinquish the incessant pull of past regrets and future anxieties, you open yourself to the boundless potential of the present moment. In this state, action flows naturally, untainted by the distortions of fear or desire. Picture a warrior on the battlefield, his mind as still as a mountain lake. He does not calculate or scheme. He simply moves, each strike and parry a seamless extension of his being. This is the power of presence, the gateway to effortless action. Trust the flow. Wu Wei demands faith in the natural order, a trust that life will unfold as it must. This does not mean abandoning all agency, but rather recognizing when to act and when to let go. Like a sailor adjusting his sails to the wind, you learn to work with the currents rather than against them. Reflect on the seasons, how they transition without haste or resistance. Spring does not force itself into existence. It emerges when the time is right, a gentle unfolding that epitomizes the essence of Wu Wei. Let go of ego. The ego, with its incessant need for validation and control, is the greatest impediment to Wu Wei. To practice effortless action, one must transcend the self, becoming a conduit for the greater flow of the universe. In the words of Zhuangzi, a Taoist sage, the perfect man has no self, the spiritual man has no achievement, the sage has no name. To dissolve the ego is to merge with the Tao, to become one with the dance of existence. The beauty of emptiness. One of the most poetic aspects of Wu Wei is its emphasis on emptiness. In Taoism, emptiness is not a void to be feared, but a space of infinite potential. It is the hollow of the flute that gives rise to music, the emptiness of the cup that makes it useful. By cultivating emptiness within, you create room for the universe to flow through you. Your actions become spontaneous, unencumbered by the baggage of overanalysis or rigid plans. Like a bamboo bending in the wind, you remain rooted yet flexible, capable of adapting to whatever life brings. The illusion of control. At its core, Wu Wei is a profound acknowledgement of life's inherent unpredictability. To force is to cling to the illusion of control, to resist the natural ebb and flow of existence. Yet the river does not lament the boulder in its path. It simply flows around it, finding a new course without hesitation or regret. When you release the need to control, you discover a freedom that is both exhilarating and transformative. Life becomes less a struggle and more a symphony, each moment a note in the grand composition of the Tao. Wu Wei in action. To illustrate Wu Wei, let us journey into a parable. Once, there was a sage who lived by a great river. One day, a fisherman came to him, lamenting his lack of success. "I cast my net tirelessly," he said, "yet the fish elude me." The sage smiled and led the fisherman to the riverbank. "Observe," he said, pointing to the water. The fisherman watched as a heron stood motionless in the shallows, its gaze fixed. In an instant, the bird struck, emerging with a fish in its beak. "The heron does not chase the fish," the sage explained. "It waits, poised and present, allowing the fish to come to it. Be like the heron, and you will find abundance." Conclusion. The infinite dance Wu Wei is not a destination but a way of being, a lifelong practice of aligning with the flow of the universe. It is an art that requires patience, trust, and a willingness to let go of the need to force outcomes. Yet, in this surrender lies a profound power, a harmony that transcends the chaos of the modern world. To live Wu Wei is to become like the river, the archer, the heron. To act with purpose yet without effort, to achieve without striving. It is to recognize that you are not separate from the Tao, but an expression of it, a thread in the infinite tapestry of existence. So, the next time you find yourself entangled in the web of overthinking or striving, remember the wisdom of the ancients. Step back, breathe, and let the current carry you. For in the art of not forcing, you may discover a freedom and fulfillment beyond anything you could have imagined.